Merry Christmas, Happy
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa,
all of it.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy
Day.
holidays.
We decided to squeeze in one little holiday special before we leave.
It'll be short.
Ooh, hello.
Somebody
Come join us.
This is Shelby.
Come grab a chair. Come join us.
I want to go get lunch.
Oh, okay.
We got lunch
Hi,
already.
guys.
This is Shelby. You can't see her, but she's a friend.
Duck in.
Hey!
Hi.
She's got an amazing dog.
Oh, I should bring her in.
Yeah.
You want me to bring her? You're like,
Yeah.
no.
I wish. Oh yeah, because last time you put Gidget on your lap.
I did.
That was amazing.
It was pretty cool. Do you want a sliced pizza?
No, I'm going to go with you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.
We'll bring Shelby on
Yeah.
one day
Uh-huh.
on the podcast.
On the pod.
What we're saying, welcome back.
Welcome back. Well, okay, so it's Friday, and we're...
Turn that, mute that mic. This is how.
This is how we make things.
This is how.
Yeah, I did it.
This is real life, everybody.
It was in my face. Yeah, so it's Friday, and
So
we're recording
not-
a special episode.
We're not staying late.
We're doing it at
recording through lunch.
We got nice props here.
My girlfriend bought us pizza
She's
because
great.
we were staying in lunch to do this podcast. She's like, I don't want you guys to starve.
She's amazing because she's
great.
amazing.
Have a piece of pizza.
I'm gonna eat on camera. I hope
Oh
that's
yeah,
okay.
that's okay.
Just don't chew on the mic.
Yeah, you were just chewing on the mic.
It was.
Hardcore.
I'm so sorry. I fucked up.
I don't know.
It's like, oh no, that's not going to be pleasant to the ears.
So, Star was a wonderful human being.
I didn't know that we were going to
Oh,
record this
man.
holiday special. Otherwise, I would have presented this on the show.
I know. I retroact because I wanted to make it a Christmas episode when Lauren was here, but I forgot the lights. And my gifts didn't come in
Do you mean a
time.
holiday episode?
It doesn't matter.
Holiday?
No one cares.
I'm just
I
kidding.
know. The winter break special. And but Star gave us these amazing gifts.
You have to go to the YouTube channel to see them.
Uh-oh.
We aren't even going to tell you what they are.
We're not going to tell you. You're going to have to go on and look.
Oh, you can tell.
No, we can't say it.
Really?
Yeah, really.
They're
You're
Harry
gonna-
Potter things.
Oh, damn it.
But they don't know what it is. They
No,
don't
but I'm saying they had to go to the YouTube channel to be able to see what it is.
decipher. Well, they know it's Harry Potter, but they could be anything.
It could be anything.
Could be a book. It could be a
Candle.
It could be a piece of pie.
I mean,
Here's the thing. The audience now
mean, they
knows it's
might-
none of those things.
I mean, I was like, there might be a hint because you could hear zippers.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We got Harry Potter underwear.
Whoop. On this wonderful Christmas time, I'm gonna get comfortable now, so that
Yeah,
my
'cause it's warm in here.
My present is more revealing. Maybe
They're
you.
getting
Just
context
literally
clues.
told people what it is.
Nope, they don't know. Hey, if you watch
they're gonna be like this. I think that's what it is.
Go
But
back
you know
on-
what? You will never know
Yeah.
unless you actually see it.
go to podcast commentary on our Slack, and if you haven't watched the video yet, ooh, I just spit on that mic. If you haven't watched the video yet, just comment what you think it is that we have.
Yeah.
It could be anything. Harry Potter, something.
So that means don't screenshot it and put it in the thing until
Oh,
people
don't
guess.
be an asshole and
Okay.
don't do
Well,
that.
you can screenshot it. Maybe like I
and
don't know.
blur it out. Blur us out. Screenshot it and blur us out, and then the audience will have to guess. Slack has to guess what we're wearing.
I say 1 week spoiler.
Yeah.
After a week, you can put it on there.
Yeah.
Make
Sure.
an emoji out of it.
Anyway. All right. Well.
Oh shit!
Well,
I
I
have
have-
a PO box. I keep forgetting.
I have gifts too.
What?
What?
Mine didn't come in.
I know. It's okay. You
I was pissed.
What happened?
Just
Mail?
Amazon what I got wasn't on Prime.
Did you order? Yeah, I was gonna say like, did you order something? You were like, that's a great deal, and you order it, and then
Yep.
you realize it's not coming for
It's
a
not on
month.
Prime. Yep.
Oh, it's
So
not on
it'll-
Prime?
I thought it was, and I ordered it, and it's not Prime.
I'm sorry.
So
It's
it'll-
okay. We'll see
Well,
it in
it'll
January.
be the new year. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll bring the new
We'll
year.
come back. See, now
Today's
you
my
got the-
last day. Today is also your last
last day.
Don't
Okay,
say
this
it like
year.
that.
No, well, we're not. We're gonna come back.
You're
We're-
going on vacation. Today is my. You have to go.
Today is my last day forever.
Well, you can't. Yeah, don't say last day is very. It's like.
Today's the last day of the year that I'm going to be here.
Yeah. So here I'm gonna get my gifts, and we can talk about what these gifts are. So
You guys are too good.
Presents.
listen to the present.
What is
Okay,
it?
first one. I'm gonna just pass them out.
Okay.
I've got a square-looking box.
Is that for me?
Semi-heavy for Spencer?
I
Oh,
wanna ask,
man.
did you wrap these?
I did wrap these.
Oh.
Wow, look at this wrapping.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, if I tried to wrap
That's why
this,
I
it
was
would
just
be
like,
a disaster.
I was like, these are nicely wrapped. I wonder if
I wasn't
Louise
sure.
wrapped these.
I was like, I'm just gonna wrap them. They're gonna rip them off. Doesn't matter.
Guys,
But
a little
thank you.
tip,
And
wrapping
then-
tip for somebody who's like me who's wrapping inept. Bags are your best friend. I learned this way too late. I tried to wrap, and I'm just really bad at it for whatever reason. Bags are a godsend because you just put it in the bag.
You got to buy those little tissues too.
Hey, that's fine.
You gotta-
I
yeah,
just
bags
buy a bunch of
take more
And,
Kleenex.
and the good thing with the bag is that you can reuse them.
Yeah, exactly. You go, hey, can I have that bag?
Yeah.
And then they go, no.
That's
No.
why you
I
write,
don't.
You write on the
I just got
bag.
text
I don't
message.
like
Who's
when
that
people
from?
reuse my bag. I'm like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and you're like, I know where you got that. That was
Yeah.
from me, you asshole.
if I
Okay.
had to guess, I'm gonna
Okay.
guess.
Oh yeah. Make guesses.
It's flat
It's flat. It's thin.
and thin. So either it is.
I'd say what? That's 3 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah, this is
No,
either
2 feet.
this
That's-
is
yeah.
either an album or a calendar. These are my
Spencer?
2 guesses.
I think it's. I think hers is a.
I can't tell, and like by weight,
I think
like I
hers
don't want to
isn't-
bend it just in case. I don't know.
It's
Okay.
it's a porp. Is that what those things are called?
Porg.
Porg. I finally saw the movie, so I know what it is. Except they didn't say it in the movie.
I don't know what it is, so.
Oh, you
I-
don't?
No, but it's fine.
Oh, I'm not gonna say it. Let's not talk about this now. I'm sorry.
I haven't watched Star Wars yet.
I have.
I know
finally.
these two have.
But you watched the trailer, didn't you?
I closed my eyes during the trailer, but I
the-
saw pieces
The
of
Infinity War trailer came on during it. I just put my eyes down. I didn't close my ears this time, and surprisingly, you don't get a lot of information.
it. Yeah, if you close your eyes,
No, you
it's-
just hear catchphrases
You
like,
just-
"Get this man a shield," or you're like, "Okay."
yeah.
You're like,
you know who
"All
that
right."
is. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you're
it's like,
"Mm."
pew, bum, bum, boom, pew, pew.
I'm trying to test like the weight, like compare the weight, like
Well,
on my
well,
body
yours
to see
is
what
harder
it is.
to guess, so I'm gonna go ahead.
Okay,
and
go
open
for it.
mine. Da, 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 da. Hear that rapping.
What is it?
It's a Steven Universe calendar.
Yeah!
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because then you can use it all the time. You know, it's like you can see it, and then it's like a thing
Oh
that
my
lives there.
gosh. Oh, this is great. Oh my gosh, this is so good.
It's got all the characters and art.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
like
of course.
it's gonna be like Hanukkah because we got these presents yesterday. You're getting
yeah.
these presents today, and then we'll come back and you'll get more presents.
It's like everyone gets a day to give their
yeah,
presents.
yeah. Okay, that actually
wait,
worked out
you're-
great.
So then you're doing like the Three Kings thing. Do you guys
Yeah.
know that tradition?
Yes.
I
yeah.
don't. What is that?
So it's mostly like Latin Catholic
Yeah.
community.
You know me,
So in
Spencer
Latin
the
and Catholic.
in January
Spencer
after
the Latin Catholic.
in January after Christmas, there's usually like a Three Kings parade, and it's about the Three Kings bringing the
So-
the stuff to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And since they brought presents to Jesus, it's like Christmas too.
So,
so you get a little tiny present.
it's like a
for
little
Three
bonus. Little known fact. You know the 12 days of Christmas?
Yeah.
The 12 days of Christmas is actually after the 25th.
Are you telling me they've lied to me the
So
whole
the
time?
25th of Christmas is the first day of Christmas, and then it goes all the way up until January 6th or something, up until the day when the Three Kings come.
What?
So that's
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
what it is.
that's the actual 12 days. So when you see people throwing away their Christmas tree like the day after, it's like no, Christmas
Still got
just
11
started.
more days.
Yeah, that just I think is kind of
That's-
cool.
that
It's like,
kinda
oh,
blew
we'll
my
have
mind.
we'll have a whole Christmas thing.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Three Kings parade was actually used to be like one of my favorite things to go to because
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it's like it was a parade in Little Havana, so it was like the most Cuban thing in the
Thing,
world. So it's
yeah.
just like, oh, we had like New Year's Day parade, sure. We had Christmas whatever parade. So you know, you get your Rose Bowl on TV. and
Yeah,
all that
yeah,
stuff. So it's still very like Americana parade, and then like you'd have this rando Three Kings parade, and it's just like all the salsa music. It's like everybody in the community who like
Yeah.
participates, and like all like the like I don't know. It's like Latin high schoolers with their bands. And,
Miami
it
sounds
was
like a
always
hip
fun.
town.
So I want to know. I want to know in podcast commentary from the audience. I want to know if you're from a place other than here. I mean, okay, so everybody kind of has their own traditions, and I'm fine if you're even if you're from America and you have like an interesting or different tradition than normal, like what that tradition is. But what's also interesting to me is like if you're from somewhere that's not America, how do you celebrate it differently than we do here, if you do? Because I know some places celebrate much differently, or, you know, at least like substantially differently.
I know, yeah, not too crazy difference, but you ever do that thing where you leave your shoes out in St. Nick?
So I never did, but I heard about that being a thing.
Yeah.
What is that? Why did you
I
do
don't
that?
know. Some day in December, you put your shoes out, and then Saint Nick just puts like little
This
Christmas.
is similar to like people leaving stockings over the
Yeah.
fireplace.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like that same tradition of
It's like instead of shoes, it's socks.
yeah.
That's what the stockings are.
I really want to know what happens like underneath the southern hemisphere because it's summertime now.
Oh yeah.
So like, are they drinking like?
I mean, it's summer, but with presents.
Yeah, but you know
that sounds
it's-
like even
instead
better.
of like warm like drinks like pumpkin spice lattes and eggnogs and things like that. Is it more like fruity drinks, like summery drinks, but Christmassy versions?
Do you guys? I recently found out about the Christmas pickle. Have you heard?
What?
Have you heard about that?
No.
What is it? I love
So like, if
pickles.
you go to Target, I went Target shopping with one of my friends, and we were looking at a little because I needed to buy Christmas trees for when my mom visits because I didn't.
She's coming.
I haven't decorated for Christmas in like years because either I'm like it's just me and that feels weird,
Yeah.
or I'm out of town, so like why? So this year I was like, oh, she's visiting, I have to like do something.
Yeah.
So I bought like a little tree, and nothing
Yeah,
special,
just
just
a little
something
thing.
in the house.
The cats haven't attacked it yet.
No, because it's tiny and it's above.
Okay, yeah.
So it's fine. But while we were looking at stuff and like we were by the ornaments and things, and there was like, there's a pickle. I'm like, why? I was like, who's putting pickles on their trees? And I turned to her because like she has like Scandinavian heritage. And I'm like,
Okay.
this is what I use. Like, what's with the pickles? And she's like, oh yeah, that's like a Swedish thing. You put it's a pickle ornament. You put the pickle in the tree. And the kids on Christmas Day,
You pick the pickle to put in the
have to-
tree?
whoever finds the pickle first gets to open their present first.
What?
And that's like why there's a pickle in
Wait.
the tree.
Is
I
this
would
like a real
tear
pickle?
apart
It's a little
that tree.
ornament. And so it's like a little pickle ornament. But I don't know if like traditionally you put a real pickle in, but
Oh
it's like
my
it's a pickle
God.
ornament. And it's green, so it blends in with the tree, or should.
Yeah.
So you hide the pickle
All
in
right,
the
kids,
tree.
try to smell the pickle.
And then like it's you look for the pickle, and whoever picks
That
it
would be a
first gets to
dangerous
open the
game for
present.
me. So my grandma, every year, gives us a $100 bill, but
Nice.
she does it in a way where we have to like work to get it.
Hunger Games.
Even better.
So she'll put it in one of those boxes that like is locked in certain ways, and you have to try and figure out the combination. Or like
Oh.
she put it in a she basically gave us just a bag of Tootsie Rolls and said inside the wrapper of one of the Tootsie Rolls. Or actually, a better example is one year she did it with walnuts. So we had a bunch of walnuts. We just got a huge like just a bag of walnuts.
Okay.
And she had slipped money inside one of the
Inside
walnuts.
walnut?
So you had to crack, and they came with crackers, and you had to crack all of the walnuts and try and
Your
get the money
grandmother is
out.
amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
That's fantastic. There's a part of me that's just like, I'd be mad.
And she works.
But I
She
feel-
finds a new thing every year to do. It's
I think
so
as
nuts.
a kid, I think as a child, I'd be like, this is amazing. I think as a teenager, I'd be like, okay, grandma.
Okay, but here's the thing.
But I think
yeah.
as an adult, I'd be back on board. I'm like, okay, grandma, let's do this. And you're
So
like, it's
here's
fine.
why it was fine every year is because I have 3 cousins
Mm-hmm.
that meet with that we do Christmas with pretty much every year, and so there's 4 of us and we're all boys, and we're all pretty competitive. So every year it's a competition to see who gets it first and who gets it last, kind of thing. I mean, it's like there's no stakes or anything. It just is like,
It's just
the
like-
4
You
of us
can't
are like,
steal
all
their other
right,
one?"
let's go, let's do it. It's time. Whoever and so anyway, so there's a little bit of a competitive aspect to it. So it isn't just like, all right, go find your thing, and when you find it, you're done. It's like you're racing to
So
find it.
Christmas pickle would have been like a disaster.
Oh, we would have tore that tree apart. It would have been stripped of.
It's a mess, but you're supposed to
Needles?
like
Needles.
find it. I don't know if you're supposed to like.
Oh,
I'm-
at our house it would not be found. At our house it would be found and
I think-
grasped and fought over and
I
yeah.
think I would move the pickle every day. Like I'd have the pickle on the tree.
You do an Elf on the Shelf meets
I would do
pickle
Elf
in
on the Shelf with
Yeah.
the pickle.
Wait, what's Elf on the Shelf?
Oh, Elf on the Shelf is a newish thing
You put an elf on the shelf?
where it's a thing you buy. It's a little. He's a
Spoiler
little-
alert
he's a
for
little-
anybody who's under 10
Oh.
because they believe this is real. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah.
It's a Christmas thing
Santa
to
is
like
real, but this is
encourage the
done
whole
by
like
parents.
Santa's watching. How does Santa watch?
Wait, what?
So, because Santa watches to see
Right.
if you're good or bad.
So this is where the morality of it comes in, and it's sort of fucked up. All right,
So
continue.
now he's like sneaking on you.
So now you buy this elf,
Okay.
and he's like a little elf on the shelf.
He's a little stuffed elf.
That's the branding. It's called Elf on a Shelf.
Yeah.
And every day you move this little doll around the house, and you tell your kids you gotta go find the elf, and like it's part of like
And give it a little kiss.
you can name it, and but the whole point is that you're telling the kids like, oh, every day the little elf like at night he's moving around because he's like reporting to Santa.
Oh my God, that's creepy.
To see what you did, if you're being good, and so like it's
I
part
taped
of like
that
the
thing
thing.
down.
So like it's like the parents move the elf around the house, and
When the
kid
kid goes to sleep, and so when he wakes up, the elf's in a new place. And
so
they're
it's like, oh, the elf is magic and he's moving and he's like telling Santa what I'm doing.
I'm gonna make a little blindfold. You can blindfold the elf and then super glue it to his eyes.
See, I mean the creepiness of it, I think it's like how you explain to the kid how the magic
Yeah.
of it works. Like I think I would, because it's something that I would be inclined to do. I think it could be cute, but I would, because I used to believe in Santa, and I'd be like, oh yeah, Santa's definitely making sure like if I'm good or bad. And in December, I was like trying to be extra good, like I would try to do chores, and I'm like, no, I want the Nintendo this year, so this is gonna happen, So I think if the kid was already in the mindset of believing that, having like a little, and I would be like, oh, you could talk to the elf. Like I would almost like you tell the elf what you want. Like I would make it like part of the routine of the thing, and try to like, oh, like he's your buddy, like try to make it almost like an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
And try to lean on the friendship aspect of it and not a spy aspect.
That's a sad day
So
if the elf has to
okay,
go.
so here's if anybody doesn't want Christmas spoilers, you should fast forward a couple of minutes, because we're about to spoil Christmas. Okay, so go now if you don't want Christmas spoilers. Okay, so we all know that like Santa's not real, right? Okay, so as long as we've all established that.
What?
Oh shit. Okay, how did you guys find out?
I think it was I was watching.
Wait, can I open my present really quick?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Hold on. And then, hold on, let me just do it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh my god! I see what it is. It says ABS on it. Yes!
What is it?
It's 3D printer filament.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's Hatchbox too. It's like the best brand.
Yep. You know how I know that?
How do you know?
Because you were talking about that on your live stream.
That's right. Yes.
What color is it?
It's
Is it
glow in the dark.
What?
What? Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, is it red?
Shit. You did good. You know the way to my heart.
Oh man,
glow
we're
in the
gonna
dark
make glow in the
filament.
dark D&D figures. By
Yes.
the way, if anybody could help us figure out how to make 3D
Yeah, if anybody wants to
printable
make those,
D&D figures,
like if anybody's good at Maya or ZBrush or anything that is a 3D like program and wants to help us out,
or if you know like
we'll give you a
any
little shout
hacks
out.
or tips or advice
yeah,
for
even
us
if it's
to
just
make
advice,
it, like that would be dope.
Yeah.
because we're doing D&D. I think we can't promise this, but I think at some point we should start audio recording D&D.
I was thinking about that too.
That would be cool, but that's gonna take a bit until
That's
we,
what I'm saying.
and
It's not right
What do you
now.
mean until like we're comfortable enough to do
until
it?
you're comfortable enough, because there's gonna be a lot of questions in the which could be in itself
Right.
Actually, that
interesting,
could be interesting because then
be
everybody
like
wants to
tutorial.
learn.
because you guys would be super new.
So, I'm
Um,
sorry. Excuse me, burps.
But I was gonna say, outside of that, like there is a lot of like pausing and minutia. Like that's why like Harmontown cuts out a lot
Yeah.
of like the
Yeah,
map,
yeah.
because without a visual component to that,
It's kind of boring.
that's really boring, because it's rolling and looking at a number, and those few seconds of pause, there's
Yeah.
a lot of that.
yeah.
So
We'll play with it. We'll play because we're gonna do a one shot and we'll kind of see how it plays. And then
Yeah.
if we're feeling like it might be fun, I mean, even if it's just something we record and then put up, and even if just people want to listen to
Yeah.
it for whatever, like
Yeah.
it could be fun.
I
I
found this
agree.
thing, and it's over there. It's like this. What's like a squares thing or whatever? Like this. It looks like this. It's like
Yeah.
a square, and you put it on the table, and I think it's meant to be picked up
What?
by everybody.
Oh, that's amazing.
So like that would work perfectly.
Yeah, that'd be
for
great.
D&D. Yeah.
Okay. I want to go back to the Santa thing, but while we're on the subject of D&D, what are you doing there?
I'm just touching a
Okay.
little clothespin.
I thought you were handing it to me. I was like,
wait, I always forget the number. It's C47.
yeah, you did
Oh, I
it.
got it!
It's just a clothespin you use to like.
They're
for lights.
C47s, you guys. I
And then
always
you can
say
invert
42.
them. You can invert them and make them C74s.
Yeah.
You get. I don't want to do it right now.
What?
Yeah, you take this and you flip it upside down, and it becomes a tighter grip, and it's called a C74.
Too many numbers. I you just like made me go. I'm like, I have to remember another number.
I think it's because it was an itemized unit.
So yeah, so I think
clothespin 47 like.
Oh no. Okay, so here's the rumor I
was
heard,
like a
and I don't know if any
I
of
don't
these
know.
are true.
Yeah, we
Okay,
don't.
so here's the rumor I heard about why it's called that. Why a clothespin's called a C47 is because when they were making, they used to when they used to have films and people used to not know what the executives didn't know what the itemized things were. Like they would look at the budget and go, "Why are you spending $300 on clothespins?" And they go, "It's for the lights." And they go, get rid of those. You don't need $300 of clothespins. So they renamed them C47s so that they would be like, "Oh yeah, those are the things you use to hold gels onto lights and hold
That
things."
sounds expensive.
That sounds like that sounds like a tool.
Yeah.
As opposed to a
the
clothespin.
rumor I heard.
Okay, we got 3 different rumors.
That's
Okay.
great.
The rumor I heard was that in the old the production manuals.
Yes.
That people would order from back in the day, like internet, whatever. That's what their code was. Like they would be called clothespins, but the
the code
order
was C47.
the order number, whatever, was C47. And in order to train new PAs to see if they actually knew what was up, they just started calling it by the order name to make sure they knew what they were doing. And then it became like a thing to just call them that in order to like weed out people who weren't or
Interesting.
who were too green for the industry.
I guess it could have been a little bit of
been,
both.
Yeah, it could have been any of those things.
You know, it's like, oh, well, they call them C47s, but they won't let us.
But it seems like as soon as if you ever meet a new PA, isn't that like one of the first things you tell them?
Yeah,
They're
it's
like, oh,
like
by the way,
C47s.
clothespins are C47s.
Yeah.
It's like a
And then extension cords are stingers.
stingers. Yeah.
Yep.
Weird.
Such weird
I
terminology.
learned that at Source for the stinger thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that before.
I love wrapping cords.
I know you do. I hate it. I'm so glad you like it.
I'm indifferent.
Okay, so I just started listening to a podcast it's very passive. It's one of those podcasts you listen to in the background of stuff, and I find it like it's interesting to me because I like storytelling, because I like crafting worlds. Sorry, I'm choking on pizza.
You didn't
It's
get
called,
a beverage, did you?
I know I didn't. It's called Friends at the Table.
Okay.
And it is a role-playing podcast, but it is a cooperative storytelling play podcast. So basically what it is it's these people, and the first episode is them just building the world together and the characters together. And then the second, and they've done like 14, well, they've done a ton of them, but the current one they're on, I think they're on episode like 14 or 15 of this journey. But instead of it being like D&D, where like you say, okay, I want to attack this thing, and then I go, okay, roll,
It'd be like, okay, there's a monster in your party. Roll
Right.
initiative.
Roll
Okay,
initiative,
like
yeah.
Spencer goes first.
So instead of
What do you
doing
wanna
that,
do?
what you do is there is what they call a master of ceremonies, an MC, and they are the ones who are kind of like the DM. But instead of them making all the decisions and them kind of having the story in their head and guiding you through this big story and taking you through all the set pieces, they go, okay, so we're gonna go. So they might go. You walk into you walk into a lounge where you're searching for this. You're a bounty hunter and you're searching. That's already established. Like you walk into this lounge and you're looking for this person. What do you see?
I see a cat.
So the person goes, okay, so I see like the lounge has really
I see.
long chandeliers and it's very dark and moody and
I see.
neon.
Okay.
And so they're basically building it as they go, and everybody does this. So the MC.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's like
I
a
see, I
weird
see, I see.
improv.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This keeps falling on me every episode.
It's not a podcast episode unless one of the mics falls.
But yeah, it's less about, and it's not the DM. The MC is sort of playing the other characters, but is this gonna work? Okay, there we go. Sorry. What's interesting to me too is that they're using a system called. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Love.
It's a really interesting system that I want to steal from at some point. It's basically an RPG system, but instead of having like attack and defense and like intelligence and all those things, you basically have oh, thank you. You basically have different emotions. And so say you want to like investigate something. depending on what the emotion is that you are feeling in that moment. So like if
I'm scared.
So like if I'm in this thing and I'm a bounty hunter and I'm really confident and I'm like, I'm gonna go in and find this dude, you're gonna scan the room. So you're gonna use perception. How are you feeling right now? So you'd add the perception score to like, okay, right now I'm feeling powerful, right? Because I know that I'm comfortable in this space. I know where I am. I know what I'm doing. I'm comfortable in this like environment. So you're gonna roll your powerful dice. But if you feel scared,
You roll a scared.
you roll
dice.
scared dice. So
Okay.
all the die correspond to different emotions.
Interesting.
And so depending on what bonuses your character has for those emotions and what die are corresponding to them, you'll get different scores. So instead of it being based around like attacking and defending and doing specific things, it's all about how you feel. So it becomes this very like
that's really
emotional-
literally emotional.
it's an
Yeah.
emotional journey because you're like, right now I'm scared. I'm going to roll my scared die and, I'm
Whoa,
going to roll
that's
my
kinda
die
cool.
and I get a 9 and I escape. Right? So you get into that emotion of like, and then they also have this chart
I
that
wanna play
tracks.
this.
I
I
know
wanna
I do
play
too.
it.
Well, I'm going to work on learning it because I'm listening to it right now.
Okay.
But you have this chart that you go, okay, I'm feeling like hesitant. There's no die for hesitant. So I'll go to the chart and go, okay, hesitant is could either be in like sad or it could be in like helpless. Right? So you have like these two, so you have to decide like which one am I feeling more, and I'm gonna roll that die. So it's never about
Oh.
so it's also not about winning. And that's what's interesting. It's not about like winning, it's about telling a good story. So as they're interacting, like you might fail, but as long as the story, like there's one character who is just, and it's established in the first one, so it's not spoiling anything, but one of the characters in this journey is going to die. And they know by the end they're going to die. And so they have this resolve of like, I know that my time, basically, it's actually really fascinating. So it's set in a cyberpunk world. Sorry, I'm going on a rant, but it's really interesting. Set in a cyberpunk world, and this is a character that can inhabit different entities.
Okay.
Is basically a digital person that inhabits different bodies, but it has this glitch where every time it jumps from body to body, it loses data. And so it's slowly losing data as it's jumping these bodies, and then if it jumps one more, it's basically, it knows that it's gonna be gone. Like it is at that point where it's forgotten most of its life. It's actually on a quest to kill one of the characters that's also in its party. That was its initial goal, but it forgot that when it made the jump. So it's like it's all so emotional based because it's all around emotion die.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's such a fucking
I'm
cool
like
idea.
dwelling on the idea of that character
It's
of
all-
having a half-life every time you jump, and I'm
Yep.
just like,
Yeah.
what?
It's fascinating.
Ugh.
And it's all set
That
in this
is,
like
yeah.
anime cyberpunk world. So anyway, I'm gonna try and learn
That
it,
is
and
Yeah,
we'll
please.
play it because
Oh,
it's
man.
it's so interesting
I'm
and
gonna play
like
that now.
I know. I've been listening to it. I was like, what can we play it in 30 minutes? But there's no way. Their podcasts are like 2.5 hours long each.
Shit.
Damn.
So it is a session. But it's really fascinating, and I highly recommend going. Here's the thing about it: is it is very slow. If you're looking to be entertained, like Harmon Quest, it's not like that at all.
Right.
You sit and you listen to these people, and they're going through like, okay, how do I feel? I think my character would be scared. Well, actually, we have to go into my backstory of my character. So the person will go like, okay, so what is there something in your backstory that would cause them to feel a certain way? And they'll go, okay, well, let's see. When I was, and they'll make it up.
Yeah.
And so they can just make it up. So you can choose. That's the interesting thing about it for me is that like D&D always feels like you're trying to survive and you're trying to.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet in full, but like
It does feel
it
that way.
feels like
What
you're
can I
like
do to
trying to
not-
win.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: D&D can be that experience you're talking about too. You could play a character based,
Right, that's true, I
emotional.
guess.
Here's because D&D you can do
Anything you want.
whatever
yeah.
you want. It's the die that are the. I guess that's the.
Deciding.
That's your guidance,
Right.
is the die. But everything you do, like you can be a character that like literally every decision you make in the game can be dice rolls. That's a pain in the ass.
Right.
But it can be done.
Right.
So
But I
if
just
you
think
want to
that
be a
it's like-
character that's based on like your feelings, like you could bring two different die
Yeah.
and go, all right, whenever I do this one, I'm going to roll with this die. And whenever I do this one, I roll with this die. And your DM ideally they figure a way around it. Like, unless like, it's like, oh, well, you have to use this die. But we could come up with a set of rules that happen when you use this die.
Sure. I just think it's interesting that this is entirely built around. It's called itself a cooperative storytelling game. It is
Interesting.
not
I want to play it. That
a
sounds
like.
amazing.
So it's all about like you aren't if you're scared, that may give you a disadvantage, but the players are never worried about like, oh, if I do this, I'm not going to win. They're like,
Right.
no, my character is genuinely scared, so I'm going to roll this die that probably doesn't give me as much of an advantage,
Yeah.
but it's genuinely how I'm feeling in this moment.
Interesting.
Because in D,
Yeah,
because
it's-
I will say in D&D, like if you're, depending on what kind of character you're playing, if you're a scared character,
Yeah.
or like say you've established that your character's is claustrophobic or something,
Yeah.
and you're playing somewhere where like all the walls are, it's very a tight knit space. Ideally, a good DM is going to go, hey, by the way, since you're in this area and that's like part of your weakness and that affects you, your attacks or like this part of you will be like 3 times lower.
Right.
So it'll
Well,
affect
but-
like,
And so I think that is good, but I think what's different about this and why I think I like there's a part that resonates with me with this system that I like a lot. I mean again, like I'm just listening to it, so I don't know, but like instead of it being like, oh, my character specifically has claustrophobia, it's like, no, if you were in this space, if you were in this scenario, your character was in this scenario, how would they genuinely feel? And that is the guiding principle for the entire thing. So anyway, I don't want to go on too much longer, but like,
that's interesting.
it's really fascinating. So if you're interested, know it's slow. You can skip the 0-0 episode. I'm listening to, let me pull it up so I can, I'm listening to Twilight Mirage, is the campaign that I'm doing. Is what I'm listening to. But there's a 0-0 episode where they build the whole world and build all the characters. That's interesting to me, so I listen to it, but it's very slow. The whole thing's very slow, but it is fascinating. Anyway.
What's it called?
It's called Friends at the Table. And they do a bunch of different campaigns all set in different worlds, and they're all co-op storytelling games.
cool.
So, okay, so let's jump back into how did you get Santa spoiled for you? Sorry, that was a big,
Oh no, yeah, it's totally fine.
big diversion.
The poor person who's like, I don't want to get Santa spoilers. Just like,
Oh yeah,
Oh, they got fucked. Guys, if you skipped ahead to here, you just got fucked. Sorry.
you skip a few minutes or here. Oh, I missed a spoiler for Christmas. Here I am.
Nope, spoiled. Christmas spoiled. That was on purpose. If you're listening to this podcast, you have to know Santa ain't
don't
real.
listen to this podcast with your kids.
Yeah, sorry.
I think
We
I
do
had,
say fuck a lot. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, fuck, mommy. I had an inkling of it when I was a kid because of movies and TV kind of spoiling it.
Yeah.
But I think the one that really broke kind of the camel's back was the movie Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. Something about that finally made me realize, oh, wait, I don't think Santa's real.
Because the dad's going to try to get the
There was
presents.
something about it. I think someone made a comment about Santa Claus and not being real or something. And then it hit me. Holy shit, Santa Claus doesn't exist. But it wasn't like a big like moment where I hit the wall. It was like it was gradually happened. And that was when it finally clicked. Jingle All the Way.
So I had it's weird because I had like the short answer is I had a discussion with my next door neighbor. Like we were just like talking about Christmas, and then we both kind of went and we're just like, so Santa's probably our parents, right? Like we were like 10.
Yeah.
Not even, no, maybe younger, like maybe 8 or 9. Like it's around that age. Maybe 8 or 9, maybe 10. But we were like just like we were literally just hanging out playing, and then like because it was Christmas time. And we're like, and they just thought about it. We're like, Santa's probably our parents, right? Like, and they were like, yeah, they have different handwriting because we were looking at the presents.
Damn, you're investigating.
You know, and we were like,
But what if the elves wrote the tags?
yeah, but like we were just like, and then we were both like, yeah, and we're like, it's okay.
But
And
did
that was
you
it.
ever leave like cookies and stuff?
Yeah, I love cookies. And here's the thing: the way my mom did the way that for Christmas, because presents wouldn't just show up on Christmas Eve, because I stayed up all night on Christmas Eve. She and I don't know, like I guess the media never really like
Spoiled it. Yeah.
spoiled the rules. I was always on the impression growing up that Santa came throughout the whole month of December. And
See, that would be a little more reasonable, though,
yeah,
right?
and that's the thing that made sense to me as a kid. I'm like, one night is never enough.
Yeah, but magic.
It was still like logically it was like that's impossible. So
I mean,
so my
flying
brain
reindeer,
and,
which
my,
I- okay.
and the way my mom set it up too was like randomly throughout the month of December, Santa would show up when you were sleeping, and to make sure when you were actually sleeping, show up and leave a present. And so throughout the month, like there'd be, and it wouldn't be every day. It would be like, you know, like maybe once a week. But in my kid brain, I'm like, I don't know. Like I'd go and check, and sometimes there would be a present.
Yeah.
And, like, usually little things. And then, like, the week of Christmas, there would be, like, a bigger package. And it's just like, well, I don't know. What is it, you know? So it was a lot of that. And, like, so throughout the month of December, sometimes I'd leave cookies out. And here's the genius of my mom.
She'd eat them.
She'd eat them, but not all the time.
What?
So it would be, like, I'd leave cookies out, and then, like, sometimes they'd be gone, and then I'd come back, and, like, the next day, like, I'd leave more, like, another, like, peanut butter or something. And sometimes they weren't eaten that night, and I was just like, oh, I guess Santa didn't come by tonight.
Oh.
So it was like,
Wow.
it made it feel like, oh, I don't know.
That's
And I
pretty
think
good.
that's why the elf on the shelf thing was okay, because it was like, sometimes, like, I was under the impression, like, oh, maybe he would show up and maybe not leave something because, like, that day he found out, I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe she wasn't good enough that day. So to me,
damn.
but that was, she never said that. That was
Right,
just
right,
me and
right.
my kid brain going, like, how do I get more presents?
Right.
Because I have a month to, like, try to get as many as possible.
Oh my god.
She just wanted to be good for a month. That's what
Yeah,
she
well, I
wanted.
just,
Yeah.
and plus, like, her thing was, like, we opened presents at midnight on Christmas Day.
Right.
So I stayed up all night.
Yeah.
That was a new
So
concept
that's why,
for
like,
me.
Santa wasn't going to show up when I was awake.
That was a new concept because when I saw Home Alone 2 or 1, they woke up in the morning of Christmas Day, and then they ran to the Christmas tree, and then they opened up their presents. I don't know if you did that.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So I think that's like, because I guess in the Latin families or something, we open it on midnight, which is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then when I saw
never
that, I was like,
experienced that.
what? Why is this kid waiting till the morning of Christmas Day to open it? But it makes sense because Santa Claus comes at night.
At night.
And then you wake up and you open up the presents. So, like, Christmas Day almost becomes like an afterthought.
I know some
in my
people who
family.
would do one present at midnight and then they have to go to sleep.
Oh yeah, we used to do that. As I
Yeah,
got
that's
older,
also
we
a
used to
thing.
do that
Yeah.
because I was like, they're all here. Can I just open one? They're like, yeah, you can.
How'd you find out?
So mine is pretty tragic.
Oh, no.
no, Spencer.
I really fucked up.
How old were you?
Oh, I don't know. I was getting
16.
the age. I found out last year when nobody showed up to give me presents at my house when I moved out of my house. That'd be great if you didn't know, and then you get to college and you're like, where the fuck are the presents?
That's
Yeah.
how I figured out Tooth Fairy wasn't
Oh.
real. I didn't tell my mom I lost a tooth. I just put it in my pillow.
Oh shit! You
I went to
devious-
school.
Well, I didn't. But
human
here's the
being,
thing:
you
I
devious
believed in the
child.
Tooth Fairy, so why would I need to tell my mom? I just didn't think. I just
That's
thought
true.
like.
See, I went to
That's very
school and I was like, the Tooth Fairy gave me this. And people are like, yeah, right, dumbass. And I'm like, what? The Tooth Fairy? And like,
Yeah, you're
stupid.
fucking dumb,
You're
dude.
dumb.
You're dumb, dude.
I'm like, oh, that's okay.
No, I went the next morning and like I was just like I lifted the pillow and there's still my tooth and I was just like, oh.
My mind was blown when that happened. I lifted the pillow and I saw money. I was like, my brain couldn't process the fact of what just happened. Like, my tooth is here. Now there's money here. This is amazing. How'd you, so wait, how'd
Okay,
you,
so hold on. I'm gonna look up something really quick because
Does it have to do with your Santa Claus
it's
stuff?
important.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. So it was. I was at the age where I probably should have been. Ready to say goodbye to the belief in Santa Claus, but nonetheless, I wasn't. I still believed. Oh, it doesn't have it on here. Okay, never mind. But I was a kid who loved to learn. I loved to learn new information. I loved to learn how to spell things.
I don't understand why you're in Gryffindor.
So
I know.
I was like, it does not make sense to me.
So I'll show you my Pottermore. So I had a little thing. I had one of those spell check things where you type in the words. I remember those as a kid. But you type in the word and you type in what you think it is and you hit enter. Now it's obsolete with phones, but it used to be like a little, probably like the size of a iPhone.
It's like a digital dictionary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you type it in, you almost like text it in, you
remember
hit
those.
I
enter.
think I had one. Of
And it
those.
comes up, and then you can hit the thing, and it'll read it out loud or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so it'll show you how to spell it. So I loved that because I could look up stuff that I heard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think this is how you spell it, and then learn how to spell it. But the downfall of my childhood was that not only does it tell you how to spell it, but it also gives you a dictionary definition.
Oh
of it.
no.
Oh no.
So I was like looking up stuff, and it was during the holiday, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna look up Santa Claus.
Oh no.
Because I thought it was spelled with an E, and a friend of mine.
Me
or no-
too.
Yeah.
I thought it was spelled with an E because that Santa Claus movie with Tim
Right.
Allen.
It's
I
spelled with an E.
always thought it was spelled with an E.
So we had this debate that it was spelled with an E, and I was like, no, it's spelled with an E, and they were like, no, it isn't, and I ended up being wrong. So I was like scrolling through it, I was like, how is it? And then it said a fictional being, and I was like,
Oh no, Spenser.
What? And then I went home and I confronted my parents about it. And I was like,
Oh my
you lied to me. And I was in tears. I was crying.
no.
I was angry. I like wouldn't talk to them for the rest of the night.
had,
I like
the
took the
you had, like, the worst
I had
case
the
scenario.
I took the Santa hat that was hanging up and I threw it on the ground. I remember
my
as a kid.
God.
Threw it on the ground. I got really angry and sad and cried and bless my parents. They tried their best, but I was like, they were like, no, it's just a tradition. Like, I'm like, no, you lied. You are liars. You lied to me. How can I trust anything you ever say again? And so that,
Oh my God.
That
is so sad.
I wish you had like the little logical moment because like I remember with my friend we were discussing. We were like, okay, because we're trying to figure out video games essentially,
Right.
Because Elle's making video games. We also knew that was like that can't be right.
Right.
So it was like we were like there are certain things
that don't work.
that don't work. Like is Santa buying it? Like it was like a
I just
weird
thought elves
like
went to Best Buy.
oh that's yeah.
But
But it was like a weird thing to it.
3 Sims, please.
Yeah.
Can I tell you guys what I want my like if I have kids because I still want to do Santa as a thing. What I'm going to do to kind of negate that.
Yeah, but this
scenario
is gonna
from
bite you in the
happening.
butt when your kids listen to the podcast.
Like they're gonna go through.
All right, son, your mom needs you to listen to all my episodes of this podcast.
Back in the day.
Daddy, what's the word fuck?
Shut up, kid.
Oh, God.
But what I want to do is like they're gonna get presents from Santa, but the present they actually wanted, like the big gift, is from me
Why? Why are you trying to compete with Santa?
because I'm the one who got them the shit. So you be nice and be good for me. Santa, like, so if you want a console, I'm getting you the console. Santa might get you a couple games.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Santa's going to get you the game, but I got you the big thing. So, in the end, when they figure out that Santa's not real, it's like, well, Mom always got me, like, the thing I actually wanted anyway. So she's the one I have to suck up to.
You're trying to ease him off.
Yeah, but, like, I feel like that's a fair compromise. And also it explains the, like, maybe, like, the part, like, maybe, like, it's like the accessories. Like, oh, like, Santa's not going to build a console, but he could build the controller.
Right.
You know, like, in my head, I was just like, I'm like, Santa's not making computers. You know?
I mean,
like,
you
this
don't
is-
know.
I mean, he could, but, like, just the image of it. Like,
He
you
might
see all
be.
the Christmas movies and stuff, like, it's toys. So maybe
Yeah,
they're,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
the Lego sets, things like that. Santa could bring you
That'd be
those.
a great
but,
movie.
like, the thing you wanted, the doll you wanted, the, like, whatever it is, that's me. I went out of the way to get it. You know?
Yeah.
But, like, so you want that special Barbie? Okay, but you get the Barbie from me. All the extra clothing is from Santa.
I'm gonna tell my kids there's a magic moose, and just get away with the Santa. Just
Oh my
do away with
God.
the Santa and just have me
A
magic
magic moose
And that
comes
magic,
in.
that magic moose is only for you. So everybody else gets Santa, but you get your very own magic moose. I don't know why. It just sounds fun to me that there's like a floating, flying moose that comes in the
Magic
house,
moose?
and then I could just destroy everything in the house, just like knock over a bunch of shit.
The
and
magic
then-
moose
Yeah,
came.
the magic moose came. He's wild magic moose.
So when I found out Santa Claus
He
wasn't
talks
real.
too in
and-
Spanish, only in Spanish.
Hola. When I found out Santa Claus wasn't real, my second thing was learning that Santa Claus is spelled without an E.
Yeah,
Because I didn't realize that movie was doing a pun.
A pun.
I did not know that. Then I also thought reindeer didn't exist. So I was like, oh, well, Santa Claus doesn't exist? Reindeer don't exist?
So when you finally
reindeer do exist.
And then I went to the mall in high school and I was like, uh-oh, they do exist.
You're like, was every...
Because I thought caribou was like the reindeer equivalent. But no, because that's what, I don't know, somebody told me. And sometimes when
Yeah.
someone tells you something as a kid,
It's
you just
sorta-
kind of keep
isn't
to
it.
it.
Sort
and
of
you don't-
true though. Is
They're
caribou?
just another
They're
type
like a
of
type of
deer.
deer.
They're a type of deer.
A
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
reindeer are a deer.
I thought
Yes,
reindeer.
yes, yes.
I thought reindeer was based off the caribou, and so I didn't know that
Got
there was.
it. Okay, you
actu-
thought they were the same, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like
The
yeah.
reindeer.
like an elf is like, or a dwarf, and then you have reindeer.
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean?
You thought that they took caribou and they were like, this is the fantasy version of caribou.
Yes.
like,
Okay, got it.
so reindeer are unicorns to horses.
Yes.
That's exactly it. So, and then I finally saw one in real life, and I was like, oh well, that's kind of.
That's
cool.
a real reindeer.
It's a real reindeer.
But does it fly? No, it doesn't, because they're liars.
Did you guys ever go through, like, well, I guess you didn't. I also went through the brief period where I thought there might be more than one Santa. Like, there's main Santa, but then like all the because I
I
believed
was really suspicious
because
of the
I
mall
believed
Santas
all the
for a
mall
while.
Santas were Santa, but I thought they were all working for Santa. Like I thought they were like Santa.
You thought there was like a Santa conspiracy, like there
Well,
were.
no, I just genuinely thought it was just like okay, because they could go to different malls and there'd be different Santas and they'd look different. Like I'm not dumb. Like you
Yeah.
know, like you could.
You thought they were pulling like
one
Keira
Sa-
Knightley for Natalie Portman.
Yeah, like
so you're saying.
one
Right. Yeah.
one Santa had a long beard, another one has like a short real beard. Like you could tell
Something suspicious.
something suspicious. So, but I just thought they were like agents for Santa. Like they were
That
all.
would be such a better universe if
They
they
were
like
all
the
like
agents
part
of
of it,
Santa.
Yeah.
and when you talk to the mall Santa, he would report to like the big guy, because the big guy was like Magic Santa.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Like again,
I
this is
wanna
just my
see-
brain as a kid,
I
like
see
trying
what-
to logic myself
Yeah,
around
trying to figure out how all
why,
that worked.
like, because it didn't make sense.
It's like Occam's razor, where it's like, as we get older, we realize like, no, it's probably just that he's not real. Like you know what I mean? Like like
Yeah.
all of these. You have to have all of these exceptions to. I feel like that is in more than just what we're talking about. But like you have to make all of the exceptions for things, and it's like, nah, it's probably just not real.
Yeah.
Or it's probably just not. That's probably just not the answer. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I feel like I want to see a movie of like Little Star going and investigating
Yes.
Santa Claus.
all the mall. I'll be like,
Like
okay,
going
like
to the
they-
malls, comparing notes,
and being like, okay, but
and
like,
then
that
like
one
the
doesn't
dark
look-
part
Like
of the dark.
Was it Harriet the Spy?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
what I'm thinking.
Did you guys
Harriet the
ever?
Spy.
Do you guys ever? I mean, my mom didn't do this, which I'm glad she didn't. But she grew up with Zwarte Piet or Black Pete. Do you know anything about this?
No.
Okay, so there's a Dutch Christmas tradition. It's very
Oh,
controversial.
this is what I wanted to know. Remember, I was like, things that happen in other countries. 'Kay,
Yeah.
this is-
So and it's still popular in Holland, although there's a lot of controversy around it because the story is, and
Oh,
it's
God.
changed over the years to try to keep up, but it's still a little. So back in the day, Santa didn't have elves; he had slaves. So, because
to
you know the
mess up.
Dutch.
Oh shit! this is a dark
Yeah.
tale.
So his main go-to guy was Zwarte Piet, which means Black Pete, and there was a gentleman who would dress up in blackface
Oh God.
and be Santa's assistant. So this is and
I feel sick.
so throughout the years, you know, Zwarte Piet has like I don't remember what his original thing. I just know like that was like the thing. Then over the years, it's like, oh no, Zwarte Piet is a freed slave. Like Santa helped freed the slaves, and this guy was just like, Santa, I'm so
Thanks.
glad you freed me. You've got a bro. I'm gonna work for you.
Okay.
So that's how they've changed it up, but it was still a man in blackface. And again, nowadays, it's still a tradition, and there are people who still dress up in blackface in Holland for this. But and obviously, like there's controversy around it because half the time,
I'd say.
what they're trying to say though is like because he's so black, like he's coal that like clearly this isn't like a person. They're trying to be like no one actually looks like this. It's like an elf, like it's a fictional fantasy creature because his skin is like ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't look.
Night. Yeah.
Yeah. It's still not okay.
Yeah.
And the alternate thing is now they're trying to turn him into different colors. Like he's like different rainbow
No, he's like
colors.
Purple
he's
Pete.
he's
Yeah.
like he's purple Pete. He's just Pete now. Like
Fuchsia
and Pete
Pete.
of different colors to try to negate that
Saffron Pete.
there's
Yeah.
someone in blackface. However, but there's a lot of people who want to stick to this
Aquamarine
tradition of having like
Yellow green.
and they're not calling him they call him his helper. They call him an elf now. He's not. They don't associate the slavery part, but that's not what it was. So in St. Martin, though,
Are there lots of them, and he's just like the most famous one?
he's like the main dude. He's like the main elf. He's head elf.
And he oversees all the rest of the.
Elves.
Are they elves, or are they?
Well, now
Something
they're
else.
elves.
They didn't used to be. They used to be. It
Something
used to be
else.
like
Oh,
just a
well,
bunch of
Yeah.
African American people.
Think about
who were,
this tradition,
I just
you
not
guys.
African American, but
Yeah.
But why would Santa have a whole bunch of elves? Think about where that comes from.
fuck me. God damn
You
it.
know. Anyway.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, because Santa Claus is also like he's Saint Nick. It's a very European.
We got to bring the
thing.
moose idea back in here.
Yeah, I think the magic
Anyway,
moose.
wait. I didn't mean to tell the
It's a
story to
much
bring it
better
down.
idea.
I'm telling you from okay, so my mom would tell me the story of in St. Martin, Caribbean island. all black people mostly, like I would say like 95%, with also various degrees of other people of color. But Santa Claus would show up. Santa Claus, definitely like white dude in a suit with the thing. Ho ho, Christmas. It's you're in school. Santa shows up to give presents to all the good kids, and the teacher would point out who the good kids are.
Oh shit!
Then
Damn,
That's
not
brutal.
that one. He's an asshole.
right,
but those
wait,
two.
here's the thing. Part two to this is now Swarter Pete also comes in, still a dude in blackface. So,
But wait, why?
because that Swarter Pete is a man in blackface. That's what the character is. And I used to ask my mom, I was like, was this like a thing for you? And she's just like, no, because he wasn't us. Like, we don't look like that. So even for my mom, he was a mythical being.
Interesting.
Because he didn't look like black people. Because
Okay.
he was a man in blackface. He didn't look like. So at least on the Caribbean island, that's kind of how it was interpreted. Because it was so absurd.
Wait, would he come
So
in
the-
and give it to like the less good
So
kids, or how would that work?
Swarther Pete's job was to
Just kick the shit out of the
was
bad
to-
kids.
Yeah. curb 'em.
and this is also part of the tradition. Is that Swarther Pete's
stop
job
'em.
was to take away the bad kids away,
And do what with them?
to take them away.
That's it? That ominous?
Disappear them?
That was you take them
That's-
away.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
So Swarther
Up,
Pete
time
would
to
come.
be taken away, Jimmy.
I'm leaning more and more towards Magic Moose.
Yeah.
So Swarther Pete would come into the classroom and everybody would be freaked the fuck out.
Oh my God.
And the teacher would point out who the bad kids were. And Swarther Pete would come with his big old bag and be like, you got to get in this bag.
No.
And the kids would cry, be upset. No, I'm going to be good. I promise. And he's like, are you sure you're going to be good? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to promise I'll be good. And he's like, okay, if you're not good, I'll be back next
I'll
year.
fuck you up.
And then move on his way. And that's how, and then like either then maybe Santa would give him a present or like I think they got a piece
So
of
it's,
coal.
it's like a good
depending
cop,
on-
bad cop situation.
Yeah, it's a good cop, bad cop situation where it's like, oh, you want to be good. Because,
Oh my God. Get him, Pete.
Because Swarther Pete will come take you and put you in his bag and take you away. Away.
Holy shit.
So Swarther Pete,
That's-
guys.
So incredibly
Yeah.
racist and
Yep.
awful and hilarious
What's
in
great
a
is my
bad
mom
way.
would talk about Swarther Pete with fond memories. And I'm like, oh, God. Like, she just...
Jesus.
Because it was just-
casting for Swarther Pete limited as well?
Honestly, because I think it's like, since St. Martin's Dutch and French, like, there's Dutch folks that come visit and, like, who, like, vacation and who move there. So there
Yeah.
were white folks on the island. It's just not, like, the majority.
Yeah.
And my mom went to a Catholic school, so, like, they were, like, you know, a little
Yeah, stricter.
stricter and hard. So having someone come in and be, like, spooking the kids to be, like, be good is not, like,
It's not out of the ordinary.
no. Like,
Yeah.
there's worse things where you're, like, going to hell, like, all
Yeah.
the time. So...
Those haunted houses, that's like, this is hell.
going away versus like going to hell. What are you gonna do?
That's terrifying.
Christmas.
But yeah,
news.
so if you want to introduce your kids to Swarther Pete,
No,
No, do not.
But I don't know. I don't know if he still takes kids away. I think with the maybe the newer trending of him being different colors and he's like Santa's like top elf. I think that's the new. Which like when people said Elf on the Shelf, like it's starting to be popular. I was like, oh, it's like Swarther Pete's like. He's changed.
Yeah.
He's like morphing into like, because he's still a
An
snitch.
elf.
Yeah.
He's still a little snitch who's gonna tell Santa what you're up to.
Damn, a little snitch.
I wanna cut him.
Snitches get stitches.
I was gonna say you just gotta slice the
Just start
slice
shanking
up-
him.
Yeah,
Just a bunch of kids.
Slice up the plush doll and then sew him back up and be like, snitches get stitches.
But I'm glad also my mom didn't do Swarther Pete. with
Yeah.
me. Like I think, but she was like, oh yeah, come to the school.
Okay, last piece. I want to answer one wintry question from the
Winter
Slack.
question. Okay.
You have to participate in the next Winter Olympics. What sport would you join? And I think you do pretty decent in. Martin asks.
Oh, definitely want to do the curling.
Curling.
Oh, you know what's funny? That was my first thought of like, what could I maybe be good at last minute?
Yeah.
Like zero training outside of like learn to be on the ice on your skates because that's gonna be like. a
Question
thing.
is are you the one throwing the curl? or are
My
you
first
sweeping?
thought was sweeping. That I'd be a sweeper.
I'm deciding. I don't know what I want to be.
I think they all have to alternate. 'Cause
Okay.
Everybody throws and I think everybody sweeps. It's
My
okay.
God, I used to.
It'd be a good curl. We have the three people.
We'd have a good curling team.
I think in
All three of us.
what was it, 2008 Winter Olympics? I don't know. I got into curling, And I was
it's
watching.
so fascinating.
I was like watching the American team, and this one guy, this one motherfucker, kept
like-
fucking up, and they kept putting him up to bat or whatever the term is for curling, and he kept messing up when the USA.
You
was
know what
running
it
it.
is? Do you guys play that bar game with
Oh,
the
yes.
sand and the things? That's like curling.
Shuffleboard.
It's like shuffleboard with the little pieces of sand.
Yeah.
And that's essentially like a light form of curling. And like if you get that feeling of like you like move it just right, like, and I'm like I can feel that on the ice.
'Cause
being
the
dexterity
satisfying.
game.
The
Yeah.
broom is for like making
It smoother.
yeah.
And to like try to track it to like
I think I would do sled dog racing because I could just sit there and just sled dog race.
that's hard though.
Yeah, but it's better than
That's
like.
a lot of wind in your face.
Yeah,
Like,
but if
I'm
they
just
were like, you have to
imagining,
do it today, I would be like, I can't even stand up on ice skates, let alone like sweep
Can
shit.
you not
on
ice?
ice
Can you
skates.
not skate?
I mean, I probably could. I haven't done it in years.
Oh man, when you guys get back into town, you'll go to the ice skating rink.
Yeah.
Go to the rink.
Yeah, there's a rink.
We'll play
Go
some.
to the rink. Do some curling training at the.
I can only, I mean, I can only go in like the circle. Like I can't. I'm not.
I
doing
go the
tricks or
opposite
anything.
way and just scream the whole time.
I tried. Oh my god. I try to do that. I've always tried to do that cool thing where you stop with the side.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
can't.
When I saw that in the Mighty
That's
Ducks,
me going into the wall.
that's how you stop.
Yeah, I wanna. Yeah, I would love to do like figure skating. Like, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, but if
But
if
if
they
you
told
ever-
you like right now you had
Well,
to
like
do it,
right now, it would be like, oh no, none of that's gonna happen.
I'd be like,
I
I
can't
could
skate
skate in a
backwards.
circle.
Like,
can't
you
think
need
of
to-
any
You
other
need to be
sport.
able to do
Bobsled.
like Yuri on Ice, which is a very good anime. You guys should watch that. It's
I
all
keep
about-
hearing about that. Slack
It's-
was talking about that.
It's ice skating anime.
Yuri on Ice.
And it's a
so
love story.
particular.
It's a love story that like it's like about with boys. What's
Hmm.
up, boys ice skating and falling in love, and like learning to like your skating's your passion, and that's how you express your feelings.
Sounds like
and,
just a show about just peeing on ice.
and it's like
What?
what?
Yuri on ice?
Oh.
Just Yuri? You gonna go Yuri?
No, his name is Yuri because he's
Oh,
Japanese.
Yuri.
Yuri.
I just heard
Yuri.
Yuri. I was
Urine on Ice.
like, Urine on ice?
Well, boys, today we're gonna.
Pee on ice,
Japanese
and that's the whole
ice.
show.
Japanese Yuri falling
Just
in love
yellow
with
ice.
his mentor Victor, who's like the Russian figure
there-
skater, and they're like all from all over the world, which is great. 'cause
Is
it's
there
like, oh,
Yuri not on ice? It's like
uh,
a sideshow. Yuri on the ocean.
No, because his name is just Yuri. There's two Yuris in the show actually.
What? Why would they do that?
Yuri on fire.
Well, one Yuri,
Yuri on fire.
one Yuri's Russian Yuri, and the other one's Japanese Yuri. Because those are
that
both
seems confusing.
Because they're
Why
both
do they
Russian.
do that?
They're Russian Yuris and Japanese Yuris, and
Yeah, yeah.
but
it
that
becomes
sounds
a thing about
confusing.
their names too. They're like, oh, the Yuris are competing, and they're like, and so
But it's like Bob's Burgers. There's not like three
so
Bobs.
there's like Yuri Chan, and they call the other one Yurio, and Russian Yuri does not like being called Yurio because he was like, I was here first. Anyway, it's a great show. It's beautiful.
I heard Yu-Gi-Oh. That's all I care about.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. but I hear, yeah,
yeah.
Slack speaks highly of
It's
it.
great. It's a great show. It's a
Interesting.
good feel good because
Anime.
they do like I think the main like I know there was quote unquote controversy over it because they're never like explicit with their like
Love.
like feel like you could tell like it's very clear they're in love, but it's all in like subtext. Like even when even though there's a kissing scene, they cut right before it happens, but you know it happened. So there's a lot of people saying they're like, oh, this is like queer baiting because you could always have the argument of like, oh no, they're just like brotherly in love or something like that. But Japanese culture, it's less about the overt expression of things. The subtler things mean more and is actually like more prominent.
Yeah.
So that's why like it's not
Interesting.
about the like
They don't need to be as explicit
because even with
about
like het couples in anime, you rarely see them kiss.
What
Or
did you
they'll
just
cut-
say?
Het couples,
Het?
like hetero.
Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
So like you rarely in anime you rarely see them kiss. You like they have like their big moment, but even then like a lot of times they'll cut away too.
Yeah.
So like they're still treating it the same, but it is a subtler thing. But to me, I'm like, they're very clearly like
Yeah.
Yeah.
In love.
gay and in love and getting fucking married. Like it's really clear.
Very
They're
clear.
just not saying like, "Hi, I'm gay and I'm in love with you." They're
Right.
just like,
Interesting.
yeah, like yeah.
Yeah. That sounds interesting. I didn't notice that like watch because I've watched some anime, but I've never like realized that they aren't as explicit. But it makes sense. I mean, I have
It's just culturally,
Yeah,
it's not
culturally, it's not as
the same
relevant.
kind of thing. And it's usually if you do see like couples who are together, it's either like a comedy or it's something where like that's not actually the focus. But if it's a love story, it takes forever, but it takes forever in our shows too. But you maybe get the kiss.
Yeah.
Maybe. But if you get hand holding, if you get any of that, you're like, oh my God, like they did it. Like, and then they just held hands. Even if it's like for a second where you're like they have a big thing about accidental kisses. Have you heard of this?
No.
If you share a drink with somebody and you're technically sharing spit, those are called accidental kisses. Japan, that's a big old deal. That's like, oh shit.
So if I had like, oh yeah,
if
I'm
I
drinking
went here
a
and I was
Coke
like, you want to taste this, and you sipped off my thing, that's technically it would be like a
people would be shocked.
They would be like, oh, like
so there's a group of 10 of us just passing the same Coke. They'd be like, damn.
Yeah, it would be like, what the fuck are you?
Everyone's just kissing each other.
Yeah, it's accidental kiss. Like if you share a drink, like and people will like treasure it.
What if you share food?
I don't know. We don't. It's usually like the beverage. I think it's like the spit factor.
Oh, okay.
So like,
I'm gonna have
What if I
wax.
spit all over food?
So it's
and
like
then
a
gave it
thing
to
where
you?
like
I have wax
there'll
lips.
be a moment like I've seen in some anime where a girl will be drinking off of like some Coke. And it's like bitter, like she accidentally got like a coffee instead of something. She's like, ugh, and she just gives it to the boy who she doesn't realize likes her. She's like, ugh, and he's like, he's like, okay. And she like wanders away, and then he's just like, and he's just like, he's just like, oh my
Freaking
God.
Fireworks.
Mind you, like they're like teenagers, so I
Right.
can also see that. I could see that here.
Yeah,
like,
As
If
teenagers.
you
I mean,
share
as
a
a
drink with a person you like, you're like,
Oh yeah, that's a big deal.
oh man.
I remember just getting close to somebody you like, just even like
even like standing within 10 feet of them.
yes,
Yeah.
sitting next to them, and you accidentally like move your leg a little bit just to touch their leg.
Yeah. And you're like, what?
And all that tension, like that's what, like at least from what I've seen, like Japanese romance animes, they live off of that feeling of like, oh my God, you're like near the person.
Yeah.
So it's
Interesting.
which is great for when you're like, I just want fluff to watch.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's life and death, but it's not life and death. It's just like it's the feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Watch
Interesting.
anime, guys. It's
Yeah. Okay, well, we have to go because we're at lunch.
Yeah.
Our lunch is ending.
We gotta
great.
go back to
I
work.
thought I was going home after that.
Nope. But we're close. It's Friday. It's the end of the week.
And then
You got
it's-
Steven Universe poster.
yeah.
Everything's right in the world. Okay, well, we're gonna be off next week.
Yes.
Yeah. What? How does this work out schedule wise?
So this is going up. This is going up on Wednesday or Thursday.
which is the
The 21st.
21st.
Yeah.
So Christmas, go hang out with your family.
Yeah, we won't have an episode on the week of Christmas.
Yeah.
But then the week after that, we'll be back.
And I will be gone
You'll be gone.
because I would come back the 7th.
That's right. Okay.
Oh.
She'll be gone.
Yeah.
Extended vacation.
So we'll need to find a little person to come in, or it'll just be you and me. We'll
Okay,
figure it out.
That's fine.
A little elf on the shelf, maybe.
Little,
Yeah.
little bread on the shelf.
A little
Louise.
bread on the shelf. You can find
Okay.
someone. There's somebody in the office.
I just want to make a shelf on a shelf, and you just put it.
Oh
just
my
make a shelf, and
God.
it's just a shelf sitting on a shelf.
Shelf on a shelf.
And then you get an elf, and you set the elf on the shelf on the
You
shelf.
put
and
an elf
the
on
shelf on the shelf on the shelf.
elf on the elf on the elf. Wait, elf
elf
on the
sitting on the elf.
elf on the elf on the shelf on the shelf.
Yeah, no, and then I want a shelf sitting on an elf, so it's an elf on a shelf on an elf on a shelf.
A shelf on an elf, an elf on a shelf
What
on a
if there
shelf.
are elves holding up the shelf?
Yeah, then you have many. Then you have a shelf. Then you have an elf on a shelf.
You have a shelf on some elves.
You have an elf on a shelf on some elves on a shelf. But you need something with an elf. You could also have being held by an elephant. So you'd have an elf on a shelf on an elephant on a shelf.
I was thinking like Keebler cookies. Like you gotta put Keebler cookies from.
We could put-
the cookies made by the elves on the shelf.
You could
On the
put
elves
you could
by
put
the
a
shelf.
shell on the back of an elephant. So it'd be an elf on a shelf
Elf
on a
on a
shell
shelf.
on an elephant on a shelf.
I gotta take a nap.
I wasn't on board at first, and I was like, wait, I can join in on this game.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.